Dude, wait, I remember his house. Wait,
What's up,
why is
AD?
this 3 weeks
I'm Zedd.
ago?
It's been a while. Come on in.
Dude, he had a Skittles machine, I think. I think he did. Wait, that wasn't 3 weeks ago. That was like 3 years ago.
So this entrance, as you can tell, is pretty simple. And compared to how I used to like my entrances with a ton of different things, the key here was really just simplicity.
Okay, okay. I don't. Isn't it kind of awkward? You're walking to the door and opening the door for the person outside, but the person outside sees that you're walking towards the door, and it's like that. You just like eye contact that it's like kind of awkward, and then you're just walking, you know?
And enjoying the
Like,
view
why is there
that
glass
you get
over
when
there?
you walk into this house. It's one of the most magical parts of this house to me is
might
walking
be
in and you
overthinking.
immediately feel
Dude, is it not awkward?
at home.
I
This
thought
sort of
it'd be
center
awkward.
point tree
Like you're walking to open the door, and they can see you walk in, and they're just standing there like waiting.
is something that I love. At my old house,
Sorry, that
we
might
had
be me.
the same people build an olive tree, and I loved how that tree made me feel, so I wanted to replicate it here. It gives you a little bit of greenery inside of the house, and it's also an amazing source of light at night. You don't need the lights up. You can just have the tree give you just enough.
Hey, this is kind of cozy. Ooh.
This is my living room, and as you will notice, it's very simple. The couch is a cloud couch from RH. Most of the furniture you see here is RH. I still think it's the most comfortable couch that I've ever sat on. I've always been a fan. The most use this will get is when we do Mafia nights, which is something we got into where we just fill this with seats and play Mafia. And that's where the couch really matters, because any little move you make, for anybody who's ever played Mafia or Werewolf,
I never
the
played
couch
Mafia.
delivers. In terms of this ginormous coffee table, as you will notice, there's barely anything on it. Key component is simplicity, matching of colors.
Oh my god, Chad,
theory,
look at the pool.
not scientifically proven though, is that if there's less clutter, if there's less things for your eye and brain to have to focus on, your average heart rate throughout the year will be at least 1 BPM lower. So my choice here was to keep it super simple, keep it easy. And the advantage is if you want to eat, which I sometimes do eat here, you know, I just sit down, there's enough leg room, we made sure, and you eat sushi and watch South Park. This house was designed by Jay Omar, an incredible designer. I'm a huge fan. And on the interior decoration side of things, this is the first time I've ever worked with an interior designer. His name is John Craywick.
Dude, if
He's
he
been
got rid of
incredible
the
to work
Skittles
with.
machine,
he was
I'm so
willing to
pissed.
collaborate and really bring my vision to life and not sort of try to place things. So you will notice everything is incredibly cohesive, very simple, very calming. This is the main kitchen. Same core principles of simplicity. This area of the kitchen is probably where I spend the most time. I wish I was a good chef. I'm not.
Ooh,
However, I'm very good at making coffees. It's something I got really obsessed with a few years ago, and I went on this journey to finding the best equipment, the best beans, and as you can see, it looks a little bit like a lab. This is where I will be making coffees for myself, for my friends, and I probably spend an equal amount of time here and in the studio.
All that and the
With
coffee
beans
would
out
taste
here,
like shit.
different choices.
I don't care, I said it.
This is if I want to make a pot of coffee. And then this grinder right here is specifically
and the coffee will probably
set to a coarser grind, which will make a lot more sense with filter coffee and less sense with espresso. Now,
I'm just saying this because
really
I'm jealous,
about precision when it comes to espressos. Key component is this cool cup that is also a scale at the same time. As you can tell, we'll tell you how much something weighs. So if you put some pressure on it, and then you just put the beans in here,
that's cool.
And then you weigh them, and then you put them into this grinder. I believe it was designed by a person who has worked on some of the first Apple devices. And out of all grinders that I've tried, this is the most precise, reproducible results. And if your goal, which is my goal, to have consistency, this is the best that I have ever tried. This Slayer espresso machine is what I use to extract my coffee. I am obsessed with this machine. I don't want to be a walking ad, but I have been very, very happy with how this has been performing. And then we're sort of flanked by milk fridges right here, because I like when I went to coffee shops and I like how they can like, so I want to do that myself. So I put a dedicated milk fridge in here. The rest is for cooking. I stay out of that. I'm currently in a really health conscious time of my life. I have tons of spices because I found spices to be the best way to make up for the lack of fats if you're trying to eat calorically conscious. And then, I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. We call it Maggi. I'm from Germany. I grew up with this. This is liquid gold. You put this on anything, it tastes amazing. Doesn't even matter what it is. I think it's liquid MSG. I don't know if it's good for you, but you know, not everything can be good for you in life. You gotta make compromises, and this is my compromise. I love this.
Ooh. This is a crazy setup.
We are in the live room lounge of my studio. This is something we built from the ground up, and it sort of fulfills my dream of being able to be creative, have a space to make music, and be able to record immediately anywhere I get inspired. So we have the piano, the drums, the guitar, everything is hooked up, ready to go.
La, la, la.
So one of the most amazing things about being here, besides the fact that this is my favorite piano, and I went out and played so many, and this specific one just speaks to me. I can be writing music here and playing, and I get inspired. And then we have this magical box right here. I can just plug a little cable into here, or there, or by the drums, and I can control my main room from out here. So if I really write something incredible that I want to make a song out of, I don't have to lose the inspiration and move away and boot up my computer. I can just continue right from here, and I'm controlling my actual computer. But there's more. Let me show you.
Whoa.
We have a little Easter egg of my Telos album. So what you will notice is there's a lot of hidden arches, whether it's the arch of my album or the little arches in what are actually sound absorbers. It's all there to point back to my album, which is Arches and Stained Glasses. So we got a little bit of a stained glass seed here. So you will see those popping out everywhere. The record wall is inspired by this Japanese library / lounge. Maybe it was just to get inspirational feel, warmth, and sort of history while you're in a room where you can write. Now, this is the hallway to the actual studios. We have room B, which is a small production room. It is fully soundproof, but it's not there to be grand and inspiring. It's just there to get things done. Or if I want to collaborate with an artist, I can have an artist work here while I work in my room. And then here we have the vocal booth. And the idea here was that you can face either of the two rooms and you can record with whoever you want to. And you just pull the curtain for who you don't want to see. And then welcome to the main room, which is where I spend most of my time. I've, in 15 years of producing music, never had daylight in a studio. And so when I realized the orientation of this room and we consulted with our studio designers, we realized there's a world where I might have daylight. And it literally, I didn't even care about anything else. I just wanted to be in daylight. And so we built the studio from the ground up. And you will notice in terms of the design, it's incredibly simplistic. All the furniture in this room, besides the couch, were made and designed by Hadrian de Souza, who's incredible and built them based on my knee size so that I can sit and play, basically made for me. And my engineer, Skinny, has been working with Hadrian to sort of figure out where the cables have to run so that you don't really look at any cables at all. Be inspired is literally stand thought beyond any lab thing that they.
That's the other part.
Magical.
He has a gym in his own house? Yo.
So this is the wellness wing of the house. This in particular is the cardio room. I spent a lot of time here. I bought this iPad holder and I pop my iPad on here and I play Hearthstone Battlegrounds. That will still not make me work out. It's like a card game that you can kind of play and do something. And I do my cardio and I play my game. So that was my way to get around hating being here. And obviously the beautiful view helps a lot.
Whoa.
So this is the recovery part of the whole wellness wing. It is where I get my massages. We have the dry sauna.
Of course.
We have the steam room, which genuinely feels like a billion degrees. An important part of working out and being fit, recovery. And speaking of recovery, one part I almost hate the most and do daily is the cold plunge. Every morning I stand here, contemplate life, procrastinate until I just go in. I feel like the cold plunge became part of my life routine. I do 2 minutes and 40 seconds a day in it. And I hate it
What?
every single day. It does get a little bit easier over time, but it doesn't get any better. But then when you get out of it, you kind of feel great. So that's why
Bro,
we do it.
he
And I
has
start the day with
everything in
something that
his house.
sucks. And when
Dude. He literally has everything in his house. A spa, a pool, a cold water, a jacuzzi, a sauna, a freaking gym, a freaking...
I'm
Dude!
done with it, that's already been the worst part of the day. It only goes up from there. This is where we lift. It's not the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but it's
A
here
studio?
to get some work done. So this used to be a guest house, but I feel weird putting guests in a guest house. I want my guests to be in the house and like enjoy everything that the house has to offer. And this to me is just a dedicated fitness room. And there's also pickleball court. It is amazing because I hate leaving my house. My goal was to have everything I need, from the plunges to the pickleball to the lifting to making music. Everything I want to be able to do at home, because compared to most people, for a living, I leave my house. I used to drink a ton on stage, and over time I realized that I can't afford to do that anymore because the hangovers get longer and the schedules get tighter. So I made health and well-being a major component of my life, as much as it sucks. And I don't know anybody who loves working out in the gym in the morning, but I think it's something that if you make it a routine of your life, especially if you start your day with it, the whole day gets better.
I'm not jealous at all. I'm so fucking jealous. Are you kidding me? He has a streaming room. Hold up.
Of your life, especially if you start your day with it,
I
the
saw
whole
that.
day gets better.
I saw that. Dude, he's a streamer too. Look at the setup. Wait, that kind of looks like mine. Hold. 3 monitors and a living room, another living room next to the setup. Dude.
In this primary suite, I wanted to fulfill all my 3 needs, which is being able to be creative if this is where I am, and I feel inspiration, which is why I have the Bösendorfer piano here. The same one we saw in the studio, just slightly smaller, but it still plays like a
Skittles
dream.
machine, bro.
My second mode is sleep. I take sleep incredibly seriously, so I really cherish this bed, and I will fly home in the middle of the night to sleep in my own bed. And the third of the important bits is gaming. It's part of my routine. It's my wind down nightly routine, and I'm going to take you to the gaming space. I guess you would call this the living room of the primary suite. It has 2 ways to game. One is my PC setup, which looks ridiculous in such a beautifully designed home, but you gotta know what's important to you, and to me, I need a good gaming setup. So that's where I game every night before I go to sleep. So if I don't use the PC for gaming, I use this, which is kind of magic. For example, if you want to play PlayStation or Switch or Xbox, there's a TV hiding inside of this, and you will notice the TV is taller than the entirety of the space. What makes this magical is it's actually a roll-up TV, right? So it basically goes down into a little spiral, and then when you press a button, it rolls itself up. And I still wonder every time how it does that, but it just
me too.
Goes away silently and gently. And I like to do this all day because it still blows my mind, and I even know what's about to happen.
Yeah, wow.
It's crazy. I still don't get it.
Yeah, me too. I don't get it.
This is where I get ready, where I get my haircuts, where I do my makeup for shoots like today. This is very much in line with the goal of never having to leave your house. You know, I get my haircuts here, I get my makeup done here.
Kidding me.
Everything that I ever need to do in my life, I want to be able to do from home. And so I dedicated this bathroom just to get ready. So this is the primary bathroom. One of my favorite features is the light. There's skylights here, there's skylights in the shower, obviously huge windows, which just makes it feel amazing. And it gives me a bedtime, because I know if I go to bed and I see light, stayed up a little bit too late. But you will notice how simple everything is. No clutter, nothing unnecessary. And then my typical routine is I go take a shower, and then I walk up to this part, and I wear the same shirt every day. I open this, and I usually just grab the first thing, which is always going to be a black shirt, and I wear it. But outside of these, I do have an actual closet, which I would love to take you.
Whoa!
Welcome to my main closet, which consists of a shoe wall that I built to house all of my shoes until I got more. This is the shoe that I wore in the Break Free music video with Ariana Grande. It's a very bizarre shoe, and it only has like half of a sole, but I really wanted to keep it as a memory. So this is one of my favorite
This is
shoes and memories. Filming that music video was awesome. I always find these awesome shoes, I buy them, and I never leave my house.
Song.
Which I suppose I told you was the purpose of this house, so I don't know why I buy them. But anyway, I like comfortable shoes. I jump a lot on stage. So whether I'm on stage or whether I'm running or on the elliptical, I typically just go
bags,
for
to be honest. I like
shoes.
purses.
We installed these pant hangers.
I don't know why,
so
I
you can
just
see
do.
them all without having to guess what's where. So this is a neat feature. And otherwise, this is pretty much your go-to regular, this doesn't close, I'm not sure. This is your regular closet. I try to keep it as organized as I can, but with all the travel I do, sometimes I get lazy and I just throw things in places. I also started collecting watches, which is maybe the only thing I really collect in my life. And I have a lot of really fun pieces, including this one-of-one
watches,
Telos
personally.
Moser piece with the tourbillon. It's
not because I can't tell and I
work
don't
of
know
art.
how to use it, but like
And I approach
they
watches
bother me.
with every watch has to offer something that another watch doesn't offer. Whether it's a different color or texture or movement, could be like a very vintage looking piece like this, and it can be an incredibly shiny piece like that. I can find beauty in anything as long as it's symmetrical.
Hey, where's a Skittles machine?
Thank you guys so much for checking out my new house. It's been a pleasure to show you around, but it is time to go.
Dude.
What's up, guys? My name is Zedd, and welcome
Dude.
machine that will go to whatever flavor you pick.
Where did it go? I need
All
that.
right, let's go outside.
I need it.
This is one of the